The researchers found that their supplement didn't work. Then they wrote a conclusion saying it did. And that was just stage 0. By the time this study reached your phone, it had passed through 4 more sets of hands. Each one made the same edit. I'm going to show you exactly what they removed and give you the 2-minute skill to catch it yourself every time. This is a real study, published in one of the world's leading aging science journals. May 2024. 60 older adults. 12 weeks. A supplement called NMN, one of the fastest-growing longevity products on the market, selling for up to $100 a bottle. The trial was rigorous, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, the gold standard of clinical research design. And it was built around one central question. Would NMN improve motor function, specifically a stepping test? That was the primary outcome. The thing the entire trial was powered to answer. The result? I'll read it directly from the paper. The stepping test showed no significant difference between the placebo and NMN groups at either 4 or 12 weeks of intake. No significant difference. At 4 weeks, nothing. At 12 weeks, nothing. The main question went unanswered. Now, here is what the study did find. NAD levels in blood, significantly elevated. The supplement did what it's sold to do, to a blood marker. At 12 weeks, not at 4 weeks, only at 12, one secondary walking test showed a difference. 2 sleep quality subscales improved slightly. These are real, statistically significant. But they are secondary outcomes, not what the trial was built or powered to prove. And here is the detail almost no coverage mentions. That walking result came from one subcomponent of a short physical performance battery called the SPPB. The SPPB total score? Not significant. P equals 0.820, whose overall score showed nothing. Grip strength? Not significant. Reaction time? Not significant. Muscle function? Not significant. Mood? All 7 subscales? Not significant. 1 secondary walking subcomponent. 2 sleep subscales. That is what survived. Now, one more detail. Last page of the paper. 2 lines. The clinical trial was fully funded by Meiji Holdings Company Limited. MM, SH, and MN are employees of Meiji Holdings Company Limited, the company that paid for the study and employed 3 of the 4 authors. Sells NMN supplements. The design was proper. The data was honestly reported. But the company that makes the product is also the team that ran the trial, wrote the paper, and, as you're about to see, wrote the press release. There is no independent hand in this chain. Not yet. Now, here is the moment I promised you at the start. The same researchers who reported a failed primary outcome in their results section wrote this in their conclusion. I'm quoting directly. This is an important report that supports previous findings and provides confidence that long-term intake of NMN has a beneficial effect on walking speed in older adults. Provides confidence. Beneficial effect. Results section. No significant difference on the primary outcome. Conclusion section. Confidence in a beneficial effect. Same paper. Same authors. Different language. This is where the distortion begins. Not at the press release. Not at the health blog. Not on social media. Page 16. Inside the study itself. And from here, watch how fast it moves. Stage 1. The press release. The same company, same authors, now writes the public summary. The headline verbatim, confirmation that the anti-aging substance nicotinamide mononucleotide maintains walking speed and improves sleep quality in older adults. Confirmation, as if walking speed was what the trial was built to prove. It wasn't. The stepping test was. And the stepping test showed nothing. That word, confirmation, doesn't appear anywhere in the results section. It appears here, written by the people who sell the product. The press release then states NMN, quote, can contribute to maintaining walking speed and extending healthy lifespans. Extending healthy lifespans. From a stepping test that showed nothing, a secondary walking result at 12 weeks only in 60 people in Japan. Stage 1. Healthy lifespans. And the primary outcome failure? Not mentioned. Not once. Stage 2. The health news site. An article on NMN.com, a website dedicated to NMN supplements. Headline: NMN prevents physical decline and poor sleep, latest clinical trial. The word prevents is new. Not in the study, not in the press release. It appeared here at Stage 2, written by a site that exists to cover NMN favorably. Maintained, a secondary finding at one time point in one subcomponent, is now prevents physical decline. The article then does something clever. It connects the NMN finding to a fact that is well established in science, that walking speed predicts longevity in older adults. That's true. It's real gerontology. But the move is this: real established science, walking speed predicts longevity, is placed directly next to a modest secondary finding from a company-funded trial. Your brain connects them automatically. NMN maintains walking speed. Walking speed predicts longevity. Therefore, the article never finishes that sentence. It doesn't have to. You just did. Primary outcome failure, not mentioned. Total SPPB score showing nothing, not mentioned. Company funding, not mentioned. What is mentioned, the finding. And beneath it, a link to buy NMN. Stage 3. The trusted publication. Fortune magazine, not a blog. Not a wellness account. Fortune, medically reviewed, one of the most recognized business publications in the world. Their article, The Best NMN Supplements, expert approved. NMN, described as supporting, quote, mental clarity, physical endurance, and healthy aging. Their top pick highlighted because, quote, the brand has published human clinical studies. Published human clinical studies. Which ones? Which outcomes? Did the primary endpoints work? The article doesn't say. Because this is not science journalism, it is a buying guide. What Fortune is doing is borrowing the general reputation of clinical research without examining what that research found, and attaching it to a product recommendation. Clinically studied, expert approved, medically reviewed. Each phrase moves credibility from science to supplement without anyone checking what the science actually said. And because the brand is Fortune, millions of readers reasonably assume the science has been verified. It hasn't. Nobody in this chain, from the conclusion of the paper to the Fortune product list, led with the sentence that mattered most. The primary outcome failed. Here is the full transformation, start to finish. The study's results section said, no significant differences in the stepping test. The study's own conclusion said, provides confidence that long-term intake of NMN has a beneficial effect on walking speed. The company press release said, confirmation that NMN maintains walking speed and extends healthy lifespans. The health news site said, NMN prevents physical decline. Fortune said, expert approved, supports mental clarity, physical endurance, and healthy aging. One study, 4 transformations. The most important sentence, the primary outcome that showed nothing, gone before it left the building. Here is your fix. It takes 2 minutes. Use it on every health claim you see. 1. Find the original study. Google the compound, clinical trial, PubMed. 2. Skip the abstract, go to the methods section. Find the primary outcome. That is the question the trial was powered to answer. If the headline is about something else, you now know more than the headline. 3rd, read the limitations section near the end. In this paper, the authors themselves wrote, additional studies are needed to further define ways that NMN affects physical function. The researchers flagged it. Nobody downstream passed it on. 4. Check funding. Last page. One line tells you who paid for the question to be asked. Not disqualifying. Worth knowing. You now know more about this study than the Fortune article does. One last thought. Nobody in this chain lied. The researchers reported the primary outcome failure honestly. It is in the paper. You can read it right now. The conclusion section framed the secondary findings positively. Authors do that. The press release led with what was commercially useful. That is its job. The health site gave readers something shareable. That is its model. Fortune published a buying guide for a growing supplement category. That is its business. But at every stage, the same thing happened. The finding that made the supplement look uncertain got quieter. The finding that made it look promising got louder. Nobody coordinated this. Nobody needed to. The incentives did it automatically. You are the only person in this entire chain whose only goal is to make a good decision for your own health. Which means you are the only one who will go upstream. Now you know how. The study didn't lie. The supply chain did.